Topic examines yield-based bond convexity and portfolio properties, extending the analysis of interest rate sensitivity beyond duration. While duration estimates the approximate linear relationship between bond prices and yield changes, convexity captures the curvature of that relationship. Because bond price movements are not perfectly linear, duration alone becomes less accurate when yield changes are large. Convexity improves price estimates by accounting for the changing sensitivity of bond prices as yields fluctuate. Understanding convexity is essential for fixed income portfolio management because it helps investors assess risk more accurately and evaluate how different bonds and portfolios respond to changing interest rate environments. Convexity measures the degree to which a bond's duration changes as market yields change. Mathematically, convexity represents the second derivative of the bond price-yield relationship and reflects the curvature of the price-yield graph. Most conventional fixed-rate bonds exhibit positive convexity, meaning bond prices rise more when yields fall than they decline when yields rise by an equal amount. This asymmetry benefits investors because favorable price increases during declining rate environments exceed unfavorable price decreases during rising rate environments. Bonds with greater convexity generally provide more attractive risk-return characteristics because they experience less downside risk and more upside potential relative to bonds with similar durations. The topic explains that duration provides only a first-order approximation of price sensitivity. For small changes in yield, duration estimates are reasonably accurate. However, larger yield changes reveal the nonlinear nature of bond price movements, causing duration-based estimates to deviate from actual price changes. Convexity adjustment improves the accuracy of estimated percentage price changes by incorporating the curvature effect. The adjusted estimate combines the duration effect with an additional convexity term. As a result, analysts and portfolio managers can better predict how bonds will perform under changing interest rate conditions, particularly during periods of market volatility or significant monetary policy shifts affecting bond yields. Several bond characteristics influence convexity. Longer maturity bonds generally exhibit higher convexity because their cash flows are spread further into the future, increasing sensitivity to changing discount rates. Lower coupon bonds also tend to have greater convexity because a larger proportion of their value depends on principal repayment at maturity. Additionally, lower yield bonds often possess higher convexity than higher yield bonds. Consequently, long-term, low-coupon, low-yield securities provide the greatest convexity exposure. Although higher convexity is generally desirable from an investor perspective, bonds with greater convexity typically offer lower yields because investors are willing to accept reduced returns in exchange for more favorable price behavior under fluctuating interest rates. Convexity plays an important role in portfolio management because fixed-income portfolios contain multiple securities with varying durations and convexities. Portfolio convexity measures the weighted average convexity of individual bonds within the portfolio. Just as portfolio duration estimates overall interest rate sensitivity, portfolio convexity improves the accuracy of estimated portfolio price changes resulting from shifts in market yields. Portfolios with higher convexity are generally considered more attractive because they benefit more from declining yields and suffer less from rising yields. Portfolio managers often seek to maximize convexity while maintaining target duration and yield objectives, particularly in volatile interest rate environments where nonlinear price movements become increasingly significant. The program also highlights the limitations of duration and convexity measures. Both measures assume parallel shifts in the yield curve, meaning yields across all maturities change by the same amount simultaneously. In practice, yield curves may steepen, flatten, or twist, causing bonds of different maturities to react differently. Furthermore, convexity estimates become less reliable for securities with embedded options because cash flows may change as interest rates fluctuate. Callable bonds, for example, may exhibit negative convexity when declining rates increase the likelihood of early redemption. Consequently, analysts must recognize that duration and convexity are approximations rather than perfect predictors of fixed income price behavior. The interaction between duration and convexity is central to effective fixed income risk management. Duration measures the primary impact of yield changes, while convexity refines that estimate by accounting for curvature effects. Two bonds with identical durations may still respond differently to interest rate movements if their convexities differ. Investors therefore evaluate both measures together when comparing fixed income securities or constructing portfolios. Securities with higher convexity may justify lower yields because they provide superior protection against interest rate volatility. Institutional investors such as pension funds, insurance companies, and asset managers rely heavily on duration convexity analysis to align portfolios with investment objectives and liability structures. Topic ultimately demonstrates that convexity is a critical complement to duration in fixed income analysis and portfolio management. By capturing the nonlinear relationship between bond prices and yields, convexity provides more accurate estimates of price sensitivity and improves understanding of interest rate risk. Bond characteristics such as maturity, coupon rate, and yield significantly influence convexity and therefore affect portfolio behavior under changing market conditions. Although convexity has limitations, particularly for bonds with embedded options or non-parallel yield curve shifts, it remains an essential tool for evaluating fixed income investments and designing effective risk management strategies within global bond markets.